Hello all you townies, this is DoctorJefe going over the Towns version 9 update. And let's look at some of the changes that they have made with this new patch. So let's go to the options. One of the new additions you'll see is the controls section. Here you can look at the controls, and also you can assign hotkeys. So say I wanted to have a hotkey for previous hero, I can come here, press the button on your keyboard. You can also set a second hotkey. I don't think I need one. And you can see backslash, set that for heroes. And they've also added some more hotkeys that we're going to see in game. So I think this is a great new addition. More hotkeys, the better, especially in a world building game like Towns. Next thing you're going to see in the main menu is a saved games folder. We're going to go into that in a little bit. But let's look at some of the graphics first. So we're going to start a new game on the mixed level. And you're allowed to set a save game name, which is going to be important because now you can have multiple save games per map. So let's call this one YouTube version 9 overview. Wow, I am so creative right here. I'm like a Da Vinci. Let's let this map load up. It shouldn't take too long. Yep, here we go. So what you're going to see right away is that the enemies, we have these Sandmen, they now have a 3D model so that you can see them moving in different directions. See if we can find some other enemies that have this new modeling textures applied to them. We have the Yeti, which now can move back and forth. This looks really good, these new graphic updates for the enemy monsters. And I believe that there was, yes, the Froggies. I think this one is actually the best out of all of them. These guys, their jumping animation for moving about, it's really awesome. So, big props to the graphics department. And just for a contrast, let's see if we can find some of the enemies where this modeling has not been applied. Yeah, so these brownie warriors, as you can see, they just have this one view. If they're gonna move, yeah, so yeah, not doing much down here. No, they're not. Okay, this guy's moving. So yeah, as you can see, these froggies and other enemies now have some good modeling for moving back and forth, whereas these guys still need to have some updates made. And that's a look at the graphics. Now there's also been some hotkeys added for your basic tasks. So if you go down here, you can see harvesting, chopping, cutting. All these have hotkeys. Unfortunately, the stockpiles and zones do not have hotkeys yet, so you're still going to have this tab open if you want to be creating a lot of different stockpiles or zones. But it's pretty awesome. You can just click the harvest. You're going to go harvest. Hotkey to chop. They're going to cut down some wood. Hotkey to cut. I never really used cut, but yeah, you can cut some shrubbery. Hotkey to dig. I know that the tooltip says mine, but yes, this is digging right here. And hotkey to mine, all very nice. And you can also cancel your order quickly as well, which is pretty cool. I think that these added hotkeys are awesome. This is another great step forward. Now let's get out of this game. Yeah, we're gonna exit without saving. And let's look at our saved games. So this is what this is gonna look like. You're gonna have your game names. Now these games are not gonna be linked to the map type like they were in version 8A. So you're going to have to remember which one is your desert map, which one is your snow map. Shouldn't be too difficult, but at least you can now have multiple different saves for the same map type, which is pretty awesome. So I'm going to load up Terminus. I've spent approximately 1 hour playing this game, kind of getting a feel for the changes. And I will point those out as soon as it's been built. So yeah, I believe that the farms have a new graphic here. Someone can tell me if I'm wrong. Yeah, that is quite ridiculous looking. And they've added some new gameplay mechanic changes. So instead of all of your animals just chilling in their farms, growing completely and totally overpopulated, you now have to feed them wheat. So you have to harvest wheat, you have to grow a bunch of wheat. You harvest it, and then your townies are gonna go and bring it to the animals to eat. And if you don't bring them wheat to eat, like this guy who's bringing some wheat, if you don't bring them that wheat, they're gonna die. That's interesting. And another change is that in the buildings menu, you will see that there's no longer a mill option. Where has the mill gone? I do not know. The mill has disappeared. So currently, you cannot turn your wheat into flour, which means that the whole baking portion is completely out of here. All of these things require flour. So this whole tab of cooking is pretty much worthless now. I don't know whether they're going to change that up sometime soon. I really don't know what they were thinking with that change there. Dungeons are still looking pretty much the same. There's also some minor textual changes. If you probably look at the weapons here, you'll see that some of them have some probably phallic descriptions here. Call me Woody. Is that a splinter in your pocket? Wow, it's so huge. All the girls laughed at its tiny size. So, some little tool tip textual commentary there. Although it's not there for all of them. So if we look at the armors, nah, these ones don't have anything. Probably the best ones are for down here, like Zombite Mace, it's falling apart. I guess it's from a zombie. Snake Sword, a sound. Hopefully that doesn't sound bad in the microphone. And let's see, is that all the changes that I wanted to talk about? Yeah, I believe so. So, let me just quit out of here. That's a brief overview of the version 9 changes. Now there are some more changes. I'll put a link to it in the description. The developers have a whole list on their website, so you guys can check that out there. Now my thoughts about this update. If you guys noticed, in my save games, there's a save called Badassville, which is what I called my other town. But this is not the Badassville that you viewers may be familiar with. All of your old saves are gone. Your old saves games are not compatible with the new update, which I think really, really sucks. My glorious bone temple, it's been gone. It's dematerialized. It's now just ionic vapor in the cosmos. But yeah, that's a really shitty pill. Pill to swallow. Especially for those players out there who are in the middle of building their town. For me, it's not so terrible. I was pretty much done playing the game. I had accomplished all that I wanted to. But for those people who have been building up a glorious town, that's terrible. But the developers say that future updates will be backwards compatible, so cross your fingers, hopefully that's true. It is really terrible for a game to be greenlit on Steam, and then if you put over 30, 40 hours into this, that sucks. All that time is gone. You probably still have the experience and knowledge to create an awesome town, but that's really shitty. However, there are some good aspects of this patch. Multiple saves per map, that was very necessary. You don't want to only be able to play one map with one save. You could only have basically 5 different saves, 5 different towns. So being able to make multiple towns per map type is awesome. Now, another good thing is those graphic updates. I think that's also another good step. Seeing those enemy types with better graphics, it's really awesome. Hopefully they will revamp all of the enemies. New textures for them would be great. But the gameplay mechanic of feeding your animals, I think that's just another chore. Your townies normally have a bunch of chores to be doing in the first place. They do not need to be out there feeding animals. It kind of is going to really put a hamper, kind of like a, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's going to block your town's ability to grow. Having a large farm and a constant source of meat is very awesome. It gives your townies a lot of food points, which will allow them to explore and do tasks for a longer period of time. And also, them removing the mill seems very short-sighted. What are people supposed to do with flour? How are they going to get flour? How are they going to do baking? I don't really understand that. Of course, I was playing in a jungle map where we didn't have any wheat at all. But for those playing in a grass-type map, where's the flour? Where'd that go? So, this patch is a mixed bag right here. But then again, do remember this game is still in alpha version. So, expect to see big changes like this. Now, that's been the overview of the version 9 update. That's my town. Completely demolished and disintegrated. Don't know if I'm going to be going over some of the other changes that this update has brought, but check back in once they come up with a version 9A or version 10 update. Till then, remember, take care of yourself.